This is a big day. We'll see how it all turns out. We have to get the final word down and concrete. Very importantly, I look forward to having the hostages come home to their parents. Everybody was unified in wanting this war to end and seeing peace in the Middle East. And we're very close to achieving that.
As we prepare to mark 2 years since the October 7th terrorist attacks this week, we have one of the most significant developments in some time. Hamas partially agreeing to the White House's peace plan, specifically agreeing to release the 48 hostages from Gaza. But the terror group has yet to agree to surrender weapons or relinquish control of Gaza for good. Let's bring in Hugh Dugan, the former acting special envoy for hostage negotiations under the first Trump administration. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning.
So what is your level of optimism right now?
Well, the practice of diplomacy is one of managing expectations. And although this does provide hope for a larger resolution in the region, and of course immediate hope to those suffering and their families, let's remember that our expectations need to be managed carefully so that we don't get ahead of ourselves.
So I was interested in Hamas's response to President Trump's. They said, yeah, OK, we think we can agree to this, but we want to negotiate more. It was kind of a final offer that President Trump made. Is that a reason to be a little bit more cautious about it?
Yes, of course. You know, Hamas is playing with blood money. We have to remember that these are human lives at stake, right? Innocent and voluntarily taken. They're not conscripted military. They didn't ask to be in this situation. So Hamas is playing with blood money, and we're going to make it clear eventually just how expensive American blood is to them.
So part of the problem all along has been the fact that Hamas doesn't have a whole lot of leverage. They've kept these hostages as leverage. What is going to be the incentive for them to give up their only leverage?
Their leverage is getting thinner, but each person, even down to the last hostage, does afford them leverage, unfortunately. They don't have respect for human life, but they use hostages as their own life insurance, and this is reprehensible.
So the president has set a deadline of 6 p.m. on Sunday night for the hostages to be released. Mm-hmm. Have you seen any indication from your sources that Hamas is preparing to actually make that deal? Well,
can Hamas agree in principle versus can they deliver and implement? Do they have that much control over every single hostage that's being held right now? Will they be able to deliver? Is the fog of war going to be their excuse not to be as swift as possible? I hope we can stick to that deadline. President Trump has been working with great dignity on this very sensitive issue. We haven't seen other sources like the United Nations, unfortunately, take action. Could this be his eighth big resolution of an outcome this year without UN help? The UN has a role eventually. Let's hope that it can put together some plan that can help secure the peace on the ground eventually. But without such UN reform, U.S. participation in peacekeeping is going to be at risk.
Yeah, well, a lot of people have died around the world waiting for the UN to make smart decisions. Hugh Dugan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.